Okay, yes, Aaron.
My kittens got out of their big box about that tall.
Oh, that's
they
adorable.
Jumped out,
That's
and now they're
adorable.
exploring the porch probably right now.
Oh,
Or taking a nap.
probably.
Either one.
All right, everybody get your
Kibbles.
fact page in front of you right now. Get out a red checking pen or any kind of checking pen, because I keep saying red, but if you have a blue, that's okay too. I just need you to check with something other than your pencil so you can make corrections and you know what you've done wrong. So raise your hand if you would like to do the first row, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to say 95 plus 69, and then I want everybody to tell the answer, okay? All right. Keegan, nice and loud for me. Read that first row.
95 plus 69.
164.
51 plus 31.
82.
91 plus 26.
117.
99 plus 51.
150.
Okay, Karma, how would you like to do the second row for me?
29 plus 29 equals 58. 98 plus 77 equals 175. 52 plus 36 equals 88. 93 plus 53 equals 126.
Very good. Who's going to do this last row for me? Kyler, do that last row for me.
2, 4, 40 plus 92 equals 132. 35 equals plus 119.
Equals
104. 84 equals plus 83 equals 167. Plus 84 equals 185.
very good. How many of you missed 0 on that fact page? Great. Pat yourself on the back again. You guys are doing great today. Okay, let's move on to our 180 days in math. We should be on day 11. I'm going to use orange today because that was a popular color yesterday. 30 minus 9. Who wants to tell me what you did? I want you to take me step by step because maybe I don't know how to do it. So how did you do it, Eli?
So I just subtracted, and I was going to stack them up, but then 30 minus 9 because 20, because it's 30, so you can't take away 9. So you take away 9 from 29.
Okay, so you made this a 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
You turned your 0 into a 10. 10 minus 9 is what?
21.
No, 10 minus 9 is
21.
1. 2 minus 0 is
2.
2. And your answer is 21.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it that way?
I just did it.
Okay. So here's what I need you to do, though. When you have a problem like this, I want you to show your work. I want you to show how you had to go next door and borrow and how you had to turn that 0 and the 1s into a 10. Because if you don't show your work on a test, you won't get that right. Okay, now you used mental math, right?
Yeah.
You said, well, 30 minus 10 would be 20, right? So I know 30 minus 9 is 21. And that's okay if you're figuring it up in your head and we're doing these, but on a test, you need to make sure you're going to do your work, okay? Don't try to do that on a test. How many legs are there on 5 dogs? Chase, what did you do?
I did it 4 times 5.
Okay, great. He used multiplication. He knew that each dog had 4 legs times 5 dogs, and what did you get?
20.
20 giraffes?
20 dogs.
20 dogs. Very good. You have to put your label on there. Good job.
20 dog legs. 20 legs.
Oh, 20 legs. Yeah, why am I saying
put
that?
20
Not 20
legs.
dogs.
Me too. That's weird.
Yeah, not 20 dogs, 20 legs. They're asking about legs. I was really getting carried away. If we had 20 dogs, how many legs would we have?
30.
20. Uh-oh.
30. Not 30. Not 30. 40.
20 legs.
40.
Okay, 9 times 4. Have we had multiplication yet?
That's incorrect. No.
Would you maybe not know how to do that yet? Probably, some of you.
I do.
Okay, raise your hand. Don't talk out. Karma, what is 9 times 4?
44.
Not 44. Sydney, what is 9 times? 36. What if I didn't know? How could I figure that out? How could I figure it out, Sydney?
I just did this. 9 once and 4 rows.
Great, she did. You did 9 rows, right?
Yeah.
With 4 in each row, and then she counted them up.
Yep.
Now, how else could you figure that out? We talked about this yesterday. Riley, do you remember?
I did this. That's how I did it.
She did her 9s trick, which you'll learn. Carly, did you figure that out?
Yeah.
How did you figure it? Did you count 9 4 times? Yep, you could do repeated addition and say 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 9 more would be 27, plus 9 more would be 36. And that's called repeated addition. You can figure out that by using that strategy. Eli,
I used tally mark.
you use tally marks. You could do that too. Kind of the same concept as when we do an array. It says use different colors to show 4 equal groups. Well, how many counters do we have on this page? How many counters do we have? So we have 12 total counters. Now we have to use, it says use different colors. I said you didn't have to use different colors. You just circle it with your pencil. How many equal groups? What does equal groups mean, first of all? What does that mean? You're going to have groups. And what about the groups? What's that mean, Carly?
Each group has the same amount.
Each group has the same amount. How many of you did that one or you tried it? How many groups did you get on your paper? Because it says you have to have 4 equal groups. Carly, how many do you have?
3.
She has 3 equal groups. Well, Karma, how many do you have?
3.
3. How many do you have?
4.
You have 4 equal groups. Riley, how many did you put in each group?
3.
She put 3. Now, how many of you had 3 equal groups? Did you have 4 in each group?
Yeah.
Remember how we did commutative property where we said 5 plus 2 equals 7. And then we said 2 plus 5 equals 7. Well, you can do the same thing with multiplication. You can say 3 groups times 4 in each group equal 12. A lot of you got that. And then you can flip-flop these numbers. 4 times 3 equals 12. So you should have 4 groups of 3. And it would look something like that. Riley, is that kind of how yours looks?
I did this.
You colored. Good job. Okay, so if you don't have 4 equal groups, I want you to change that right now. So you're going to have 3 in each group. You're going to have this one right here. 4 groups of 3. When you get that done, give me a thumbs up so I know I can erase and scroll up. How many of you are still working on that? Okay, keep working. I'll give you a couple seconds more. Okay, moving on. Oh, I gotta get the I clicked. Okay, it says 3 hundreds plus 2 tens plus 8 ones. What number did you write? Keegan, what number did you write?
328.
328. Very good. Now it says write the next 3 numbers in the pattern. 11, 22, 33. Eli, what comes next?
44.
44. Riley, what comes next?
55.
55. Who wants to do the last one? Donovan, what comes next?
66.
66. Very good. All right. It says write the time in words. What did you write, Riley? Well, just tell me what you wrote. The word.
11.
11.
30.
30.
He looks like a 3. Yeah.
Max. No.
That's all I learned.
Hyphen?
That's how I
I never
learned.
can remember that.
What? Put a 3.
Hyphen? No apostrophe either, right? Okay, I didn't think so. You know how you do something, then you look at it like, what? Okay, number 8 says, measure the height of this page in inches. Did we have a ruler to do that with?
No.
We did not this morning. And I told you to just cross this out.
Unless you have a
Well, we're moving on. We got to do math in our book. Count the solids in the objects below. How many solids in the objects below do you see? So let's look at this part. Here is what they're asking us to count. So how many, everybody, were 3? And then what about this part?
3. That's easy.
That was easy, wasn't it?
That's really easy.
So if I added these together, what do I have?
6.
I have 6. Very good. Did it ask you to do that? No, it didn't. We just did an extra. I took a nap and woke up at 3 o'clock. He took a nap, or she, and woke up at 3 o'clock. I slept for 2 hours. Holly, what time did I fall asleep? 1 o'clock. Very good. How did you figure that out, Holly? Very good. She said, well, I know I'm going to have to go backwards because I woke up. So let's look at the clock. I woke up at 3 o'clock. So what time did I fall asleep?
2 hours.
Well, I wouldn't go forward because that meant I would have to fall asleep at 5 o'clock. No, this is when you woke up. So you'd have to go back 2. So 1 o'clock is the correct answer. Take that and put that in your take-home folder with your fact sheet. Now tomorrow is Friday, and what does Friday mean with V? Fact quiz, right? So you will not put that in your take-home folder, and we will not be going over it. What will you do with this when you get it done? You will put it in your mailbox. Very good. Okay, when you get that put away, I want to see your desk cleared off, pencil and math book only, okay? And we are still working on making picture graphs, but you should be on lesson 2.3. And Aaron, can you see?
How can you draw a picture graph to show data in a table?
Can't see it all? Just right here you can't see? That's okay. Just a glare, but I'm not in your way, right? Or I am? I'm not, okay. So it says the essential question for today is how can you draw a picture graph to show data in a table? Now we learned that yesterday, so let's go over it today.
Hi there! It's been an exciting day here in the desert. A group of botanists, or people who study plants, came to study our home. Calypso found a piece of paper they left behind on the bench. It looks like a table, but I'm not sure what that means. Can you help us read it? Click the bench to see the piece of paper. Oh, I think the botanists were counting the number of plants in this area. They listed 3 types of plants: cacti, flowers, and tumbleweeds. It looks like they counted 30 cacti, 60 flowers, and 25 tumbleweeds. You know, I heard one of the botanists explain that they wanted to use a picture graph to display this data. I wonder how they do that. Come on, let's find out more about it.
Delia made a frequency table to record the places the 3rd grade classes would like to go during a field trip. Let's unlock this problem.
We're done with that. You think it will do that every time if I start it again?
How can you draw a picture graph to show data? Delia made a frequency table to record the places the third grade classes would like to go during a field trip. Let's unlock this problem. The first step of making a picture graph is to write a title at the top of the graph. It's important to include a title so others know what the graph is about.
Now, how will we know when we're doing this? How will we know what our title is going to be in this graph? How will we know? Karma?
You will read the question again, or to tell you what you're learning about.
Okay, you
What the
could.
question is.
How else could we figure out what the title is going to be in this graph? Now, we learned this yesterday and you weren't here, so, okay. Carly,
You can look at the top of the picture graph.
you can look at the top of this frequency table and what does it say?
Field trip choices.
Field trip choices. So what do you think this is going to be called?
Field trip choices.
Field trip choices.
Since the data is about field trip choices, the graph title could be
You were right.
Field Trip Choices. Next, write the name of a place the students want to visit in each row. Museum has already been written in the graph. The other field trip choices are Science Center, Aquarium, and Zoo. Look at the numbers in the table. Then choose a picture for the key at the bottom of the graph. Tell how many students each picture represents.
Okay, so when you're changing something from a frequency table to a picture graph, you have to decide on a picture that's going to represent all of these things. I'm sure they did it. And then how many students that picture is going to represent. So if we're looking at this and we see 2, 16, 8, 10, what do you think they're probably going to count by? What do you think?
Twos.
Probably twos, because 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, and you're going to learn all this, okay? We haven't had multiplication yet, but we're just setting you up. Start gearing your brain towards that.
Let's use a smiley
Oh,
face
okay, they're
and
not
let
gonna
each
count by
smiley
twos.
face equal
They're gonna count by
4
fours, I
students. Now let's draw the correct number of smiley faces for each field trip choice. We will start with museum. There are 2 students who chose museum. How can you represent 2 students for museum on this picture graph?
Okay, so remember yesterday we had whole pictures, and what else did we have? What else did we have, Sydney? Half pictures. So I'm sure that's probably what they're getting at with this, okay? Using 4 students. So how many pictures will represent 2 students if one smiley face represents 4 students? Karma?
Maybe 2 halves.
Not 2 halves. 2 halves make a whole.
1.
2 halves. 1 half? Maybe. Let's see.
Since a whole smiley face represents 4 students, half of a smiley face represents 2 students. 16 students chose Science Center. How many smiley faces do you need to draw to show 16 students?
So if each of these are 4, how many do you think is going to represent 16 students? Chase, what do you think?
4.
Chase says 4.
Count each smiley face as 4 students.
You got it.
4, 8, 12, 16. So you need to draw 4 smiley faces to show 16 students. 8 students chose aquarium.
Okay.
How many pictures do you need
How
to draw
many
to
do you
show
think for
8 students?
aquarium, Aaron? Aaron says 2.
You need to draw 2 smiley faces to show 8 students. 10 students chose zoo. How many pictures do you need to draw to show 10 students?
How about for 10 students? Now this is going to be a little more difficult. What do you think, Carly?
2 full smiley faces and 1 half.
Carly says 2 full and 1 half.
You can count by 4s twice to get 8 students, which you show using 2 smiley faces. Then you show half of a smiley face to represent the other two students. So 2 1/2 smiley faces represent 10 students. The picture graph is now complete.
Now, do you remember yesterday what I told you you could do if that confused you? Just having this right here. Do you remember what I told you could do? What did I tell you, Carly?
You can cycle it.
Yes, I said we could, oops, let me clear that off. We could circle the key. I like that. And also I told you if you're wanting to know what half of that's going to be, you could just go ahead and draw a half. Oops, hold on. Come on, Mrs. Strathby. Equals 2 students. Now, if you needed to do that so you could see it in your brain, do that, okay? I don't care if you do that on your work. In fact, that lets me know you're really thinking about this, okay? I'm not going to be like, oh, that's wrong. Why did you write that down there? I'm going to be like, wow, they went extra mile just to make sure they knew what they were doing. So if you don't need to do it, don't worry about it.
Jeremy pulled marbles from a bag one at a time, recorded their color, and then put them back.
So it says, make a picture.
Let's start by making the picture graph.
Hold on.
The first step is to write in the title, color, and key description onto the picture graph. List the colors in the graph in the same order that they appear in the table.
Okay, what do you think the title of this is going to be? What do you think, Axel? Jeremy's
Model equipment.
experiment. Yep, very good.
This picture graph now has the title, color choices, and key description in the right places. Now we need to complete the picture graph to show the number of marbles of each color that Jeremy pulled from the bag. The table shows that Jeremy pulled 7 blue marbles from the bag. Use whole and half circles on the picture graph to show the number of blue marbles that Jeremy pulled from the bag.
All right, who thinks they know how many marbles are blue? Carly, you're real quick to raise your hand.
7.
Okay. How many marbles, though, are we going to show over here in the picture graph? If each represents 2.
Three full ones. 1/2.
Okay, she says 3 full ones and 1/2.
Jeremy pulled 7 blue marbles from the bag, so there are 3 whole circles and 1/2 circle in the row for blue. The table shows that Jeremy pulled 6 green marbles from the bag. Use whole and half circles on the picture graph to show the number of green marbles that Jeremy pulled from the bag.
So, okay, if 7 were 3 whole marbles and 1/2 marble, then Karma, what are green for 6? 6 marbles.
There will be 2 fulls. And then there will be 3 fulls.
Okay, 3 holes.
Jeremy pulled 6 green marbles from the bag, so there are 3 whole circles in the row for green. The table shows that Jeremy pulled 5 red marbles from the bag. Drag whole and half circles to the picture graph to show the number of red marbles that Jeremy pulled from the bag. Click the check button when you're finished.
Okay. 5 is the number we're trying to represent. Sydney, what do you think 5 is?
2 circles.
Oh. Why is it not going?
You have to do it on the computer.
What?
You have to do it on the computer.
Oh. I do I? Oh, I have to use the mouse. Okay. I see. Oh, nope, we're just not doing it. We're done, I guess. It's acting goofy today. But how many we're going to represent 5, Sydney? How many?
2 circles. 2 circles.
Huh?
2 circles.
Okay, how many?
2.
2. So now we have 2, 4,
And 1 half.
and 1 half. Yep, very good. So we had 2, 4, 5. Very good. Okay, let's get your math book open. I had it open. Let's see if it's. Whatever. I'm gonna go and make that bigger. I'm gonna try to make it a lot bigger today, okay?
Like
Everybody can see.
I can move super finger like all the way in, super watermelon finger. Sorry.
Having some problems today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, can everybody in the back see that? Okay, great. And you have it on your book too, okay? So if you need to look, make sure you're looking on your book. So our essential question again is how can you draw a picture graph to show data in the table? Did we already do that one?
Yes.
We did. Skip-a-roo. Let's go to this page right here. We're going to go down to, no, we already did, well, it's different numbers. Let's do this one on the share and show. Jeremy pulled marbles from a bag one at a time, recorded their color, and then put them back. Make a picture graph of the data. Use this key. So, do you remember, Karma? If we would have had this, what kind of table was that called? Do you remember what that was called? A tally table. Very good. When we have just numbers, what's that called? Do you remember? Starts with an F. No, Keegan, help her out. Frequency table. Very good. And now we're trying to make what kind of graph, guys? What are we doing?
Picture graph.
A picture graph. Good job, Sydney. All right, I'm going to stay with the color orange because I like it. What's the title of my table going to be? Sydney, what is it?
Jeremy's marble experiment.
Jeremy's marble experiment. Write that in there. Oh. And what does it tell us? How do we know what to put down here where it says key? So when you get done writing the title, and don't take too much time writing it, you just need to be able to read it. I'm not going to check it. How do we know what to put down here for our pictures? How do we know, Sydney? Excuse me.
By drawing this above equals 2.
Great. It tells us right up here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to transfer that information down here. We're going to say a circle equals 2 marbles. But hopefully you can write. Oh man. neater too than me today. So now, what are we doing over here? What are we doing over here in this part of the table? In these 3 blanks, what are we doing? Karma, what are we doing?
Writing the colors.
We are. So everybody get your colors written in. When you get that done, I want you to tell me, what am I doing now? What am I doing now? Chase, what am I doing now?
Filling it up.
How am I going to fill it out? Am I just going to go over here and do this? Just filling it out.
No, some soft ones in it.
What am I putting in it?
Soft ones.
Circles. For how many, though?
Blue, 4.
Okay, I have to represent 4, right? So if my key says 1 circle equals 2 marbles, how will I represent this 4?
I know 2 ways. Is 2 have 1 normal or 2 normal.
Okay, we're going to do 2 circles to represent 4. So get your 2 circles in there to represent 4. And you know what I like to do? This is what I tell my students. If they struggle to figure out where they're at, this is what I tell my students in RTI. Cross it off so you know you've already taken care of it. Because we're not worried about this once we get it into here, are we?
Nope.
Now we've created a new graph. How am I going to represent 11? Oh my goodness. Riley, how am I going to do that?
5 circles and 1/2.
She says 5 circles and 1/2, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do what she says, and then we're going to go back and see if she's right. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. Was she right?
Yes.
She was. I've done that. I'm crossing it off. Now how many do I need to put in to represent 8? Karma?
You need to put 4.
Okay, Karma says 4. Let's do it.
I mean 5.
So we'll say 2, 4, 6, 8. Did we get 8?
Yes.
4 circles is right. Don't second guess yourself. You were right, girl. Oh man, I'm gonna probably move all my information. Well, yes I did. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna have to leave it there. I'll read your questions out of the book and then we'll get that done and I'll erase. So, the first question says, how many more times did Jeremy pull out a red marble than a blue marble? How many more times did Jeremy pull out a red marble than a blue marble? Aaron, what do you think we're going to put there?
I counted it.
Okay, you counted it.
And then that's
Yep. But let me show you. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, okay? He had 4, and what they really want you to understand is they're asking you how many more times. So what kind of problem are we going to have with how many more, Chase? Subtraction, very good. What is 8 minus 4? 4. And so on your blank down here, you're going to write, here, I'm going to do it here because I don't have a blank. I'm going to put 4 more times. Does everybody understand that? Give me a thumbs up if you understand that question and you know how we got there. Give me a thumbs up if you're not real sure. Okay, so let's go back. We're kind of using these original numbers right here. Okay, and they're asking us, how many more times did Jeremy pull out a red marble than a blue marble? So when we see how many more times, we have to take these numbers and subtract. Does that make sense? And don't worry, you're going to get some more practice. So if you don't understand that right now, you probably will by the time we get done. Number 2 says, how many fewer times did Jeremy pull out a green marble than blue and red marbles combined? How many steps is this problem? That's what I want you to tell me. So let me say it again. How many fewer times did Jeremy pull out green marbles than blue and red marbles combined? How many steps are we going to have? Kinsley? 2 steps, yep. So I'm going to come over here off to the side somewhere, and I'm going to write me a 1, and I'm going to write me a 2. That way I know I'm getting ready to do 2 steppers, okay? I call these problems 2-steppers. So in this 2-stepper, we have 2 things they want to know. When you see the word than, I want you to underline the word than. That's going to tell you that you're going to work this problem backwards. That's the easiest way to do that. And I tell my RTI kids that. When you see the word than, and then you see 2 more things they're wanting information from, take care of that first. Work it backwards. So they're wanting to know about blue and red combined. When I hear the word combined, does that tell me I'm going to add or subtract? Blue and red combined. Trayson? Add. Very good. So my first problem, I'm going to take this number 4. I'm going to take this number 8. And I'm going to add them. What is 4 plus 8? Riley? 12. Very good.
There.
We took care of that part of the problem. Now we know 12 is the number of blue and red marbles combined. So now it says, let's go back to the first part of that. How many fewer times, underline the word, fewer times, did Jeremy pull out green marbles? What am I going to do in this second step? Sydney thinks she knows. What do you think, Sydney?
I think you're going to subtract.
We're going to subtract. What are we going to subtract?
8 minus 12.
Not 8 minus 12.
8 minus 4.
Okay, Holly?
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. Holly, what? Okay, my ears will stop there today. But no, not 11 minus 4. No. But you're on the right track. I can't hear out of this ear today. Okay, I'm gonna read this again. How many fewer times did Jeremy pull out green marbles than blue and red marbles combined? Donovan, what do you think?
11 minus 8.
Mm-mm. We figured this out. These are the combined. So we have to use this number. Riley, what do you think?
12 minus 11.
12 minus 11. And what is 12 minus 11?
1.
1. So your answer should be 1. Oh my, I'm going to have to write it here. 1 fewer time. That's a weird way to say that. 1 fewer time. All right. When you get that done, you should be on the space page.
Yep.
I love that. I love that graphic they have up to the side. I love anything about space. Yes, Holly. What?
So does my sister.
Really?
And so do I.
Okay, I'm going to erase all this mess up here.
Miss Rothbein, my
What?
sister likes you.
She does. Well, I like her too. All right. So I love this picture. Every year I comment on this. Every year. This is so pretty to me. Okay, but that's not what we're doing. We've got to make a picture graph. Dun, dun, dun. And this says on your own, but am I going to send you off on your own? No, we're doing it together. 2 classes from Delia's school visited the Science Center. That sounds fun. They recorded their favorite exhibit in the tally table. So everybody notice the tally table. Put your finger on the tally table so I know you know what a tally table is. Yep, everybody knows. Kyrie, where's the tally table? Nope. Look at your page. The tally table. You see one that has tally marks? Very good. All right, I just want to make sure you knew where it was. It says they recorded their favorite exhibit in the tally table. Use the data in the table to make a picture graph. Each son equals how many votes, everybody? 4. Very good. All right, what's the first thing? Let's look at our tally table. What's the first thing we need to do? What do you think, Karma?
Make a title.
No. We're still up here in the tally table. What's the first thing I said we need to do, Chase?
So, look at it.
Okay. You mean count the tallies? Yep, that's what I mean. So how many, Chase, do I have for nature?
6.
6. Write a 6. Oops. This is struck. I can't write a 6 because I didn't have the I off. Write a 6 there. What am I writing by solar system, Karma? What am I doing?
8.
8. Very good. Eli, what am I doing for light and sound?
14.
14. Very good. And Kyler, what do you think I'm doing for human body? Can you count those tally marks up? Okay? Count your tally marks up and tell me. For this one.
1, 5, 6, 7.
Riley.
8.
Very good. 8. So that is what you should have. Now, why do I want you to do that? Why do I want you to write your numbers off when we're trying to do a picture graph? Does that have anything to do with this? Aaron, what do you think?
It's to make it a lot easier.
To make it a lot easier, because we're going to need to know how many pictures to draw, right? And we don't want to go back up here every time and count these tally marks to figure it out. We've already got it figured out, so let's move on. Now, Karma, da, da, da. What am I doing here?
Now you add the time.
I can't see the title, so I have to come over here. It says, what, Karma? What's it called?
Favorite exhibit.
Favorite exhibit. Very good. Get that written in your title. Oh, Mrs. Grofine, you left out a letter. My brain went faster than my hand.
You left me. Mrs. Stockline, did you guys change the dollar yesterday for calling him?
Did I give you $1 for calling you Keegan yesterday?
You said that you owe me $1.
Did I give it to you?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Mrs.
Mrs. Struckfine.
I try to remind you at the end of the day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm glad everybody is babysitting me today. Okay. Every day. I know. Bless your heart. So it's a full-time job, isn't it? All right, listen up. What am I going to put in my key? What am I doing? What am I doing, Riley? Each sun equals 4 votes. So I'm going to draw a sun. It doesn't have to be a perfect sun. Good thing, right? Here, I'll even make mine a little prettier. Okay. And then I'm going to say equals how many? 4 votes.
Remember you said you were using the orange because you liked it?
I do like it. I'm going to use green on this, though, because it reminds me of science. Okay. Oh, we'll talk. How many suns am I going to draw to represent 6? How many suns, Aaron? Oh, wait a minute. Wait, nope. I'm getting ahead of myself. What are we doing here? Karma?
Writing the name.
We're writing the names. We're just transferring this all down to that column. We're saying nature, solar system. I was so excited to draw suns, I got ahead of myself. Light and
Don't we have to like that and then
nope,
pictures?
nope. And stay in your seat, please. Light and sound. And then human body. Now, Aaron, how many suns am I going to draw to represent 6? Okay. She says 1 sun. That's 4. And then a half of a sun. What would that represent, Aaron?
2.
2. Very good. And I kind of do it like a backwards D.
And it also looks like this song that you drew on the bottom by the key. It looks like the coronavirus.
Yeah, you're right.
It looks like the
Okay.
coronavirus.
That's sad. We're associating our drawn suns with the coronavirus. Oh my. Okay. How about solar system? How many suns will I draw for solar system? Axel, what do you think? We need 8. Each sun represents 4.
2.
Axel says 2. Let's see if he's right. 4. 8. He's right. How about for 14? Now that's going to be harder. I'm going to give you a chance to sit and think about that for a second. Riley thinks she knows. Chase thinks he knows. Eli thinks he knows. Trayson thinks he knows. Eli, what do you think?
You can put 2 suns down, and that would be 8. Actually, we're going to put 3,
I see how you're thinking.
and then put a half one.
Okay, very good. We're going to put 3 suns because we have 4, 8, 12. And then if we put 4 more, we'd have 16, but we don't want 16. We want 14. So we have to put a half of a sun to represent 2 more from 12. And 12 plus 2 is 14. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
And for human body, well, how many are we going to do for human body? Aaron, how many?
2.
2. We already did that up on,
Coronavirus all over the screen now.
what?
There's coronavirus all over the screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
We're gonna
everybody right now, put your head down on your desk, hide your eyes. Put your head down on your desk and hide your eyes. If you're not done drawing, it's okay. Just put your head down on your desk. Hide your eyes. You can draw here in a minute. Still waiting on people to follow directions. Hide your eyes. You can draw in a second. I'm going to let you finish. Still waiting on people to follow directions. Okay, hide your eyes. Right now, we're going to do fist to 5. 0, I do not understand this at all. 1, I understand parts of it. 2, I understand parts of it more than I did yesterday. 3, I kind of understand most of it. 4, I understand all of it, but I couldn't teach it. Or 5, I understand all of it, and I could come up here and teach it just like you, Mrs. Struckbein. Give me a fist to 5 right now. Let me see what you're doing. Okay, everybody put your fingers down. Now sit up. Finish drawing your circles. That gives me an idea of where we're at. Everyone's doing pretty well at this. But if you're still struggling a little bit, is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, because we're going to continue to do that.
Mrs. Struckbein,
Yes.
every time I look up after doing this, it makes me look like everything is black.
Yeah, like kind of dizzy. I used to do that a lot when I was your age. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready for me to erase and move on. Raise your hand if you're still drawing your circles or your suns. Okay, keep going. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds, but you need to hurry up.
Mrs. Struckbein, last night, Bella hit me right here.
Oh.
And with a metal spoon that gets spit out. And she hit me right
Oh,
here
that hurt.
because I told her to let go of the cat's tail.
Oh, that's not nice, is it?
It's still pretty sore.
All right. I'm moving on. Okay, so you're going to have to use your graph because I've erased mine. We got to answer these questions about our graph. Which exhibits receive the same number of votes? Which exhibits have the same number of votes? Kinsley, which exhibits?
The solar system and the moon body.
How do you know that?
Because I just looked at it and there's two suns there.
Okay, she looked at her sons. What else could you refer to?
Tally marks.
Yep, you could refer back to your tally table where we went on ahead and counted that up. Good job. It says, what if a weather exhibit received 22 votes? Explain how many pictures you would draw. What if you had to represent 22? So right now, over to the side, here's what I want you to do. Somewhere close to your table. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. If I wanted to represent 22, and I see that one sun equals 4 votes. How would I do 22? I'm going to give everybody a few seconds to think about that. Chase, how would I represent 22?
I think I type 5 and some.
Okay, I'm going to draw them up here real quick. Then we're going to count by fours.
So, 4 suns is 16. And another. And a half.
And he says a half. All right, let's count, everybody. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22. Did he get that right? Is this the number we were trying to get?
Yes.
Yep. So you're going to write down here 5 whole suns and 1 half. Now here's the explanation they wanted you to write. Count by fours to 20 and draw 5 pictures. Then draw a half picture. So see, I reduced that for you. Quite a bit. We did that. We just did it on the board. Number 6 says, what if the solar system exhibit received 15 votes? Would it make sense to use the key, each sun equals 4 votes to represent 15 votes? Would that make sense if 4 votes represented by 1 sun would equal 15 votes? Tell me why. Sydney, what do you think?
Because 1 sun equals.
Well, yes or no? Does that make sense? Okay. Sydney says no, and she is correct. Now let's think about this. We're going to say no because. Why, Sydney?
Because 1 sun equals 4.
Uh-huh.
You need only 1 equals 3.
And what's 1 half sun equal?
1 half sun equals 1.
1 half sun equals
2.
2. Could we get to 15 using the 4 votes, but with 1 whole sun and 2 votes with 1 half sun?
No.
Because if we counted 4, 8, 12, and we added a half sun, we'd only have 14, right?
Yes.
4, 8, 12, 16. Oh, we went over 15. So no, because we can't get to 15 when counting by fours. Now, let me tell you what they said to put. They said, no, each picture could equal 2 votes or 1 vote. 15 is not a number you say when you count by fours. So I've tried to reduce it as much as I could, make sense of it. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing good on time. When you have that finished, turn your page so I know you're ready to go to the next page. We'll be on problem-solving applications, real world. That means they're going to give you something you may actually have to do in the real world someday. Yes.
Now I know how many teeth my cat has. More than I expected. More teeth than me.
Yes, Sydney.
Can we do math on the spot with this?
We will look and see if math on the spot is the same. Oh.
Plus 4
Teeth on that
for the second triangle, 4 teeth for the
16, 20, 22.
I think it's the same. I
The
think
numbers are 16, 30, 42, 32. And she's also not on page.
is it not the same?
It is the same, only not the same numbers. It is. It's the same. Yeah, it is the same.
1,
Only
2,
not the
3, 4,
numbers.
5, 6, 7,
The
and a
numbers,
half.
not the numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 and a half. 1, 2. I think it's the same. All right, we're going to do it.
Hi, Hammy. How are you doing? I just want to see inside your mouth. Oh, no. Don't worry. I'm just going to count your teeth. Oh, come on. Open up. I want to see. All right, well, maybe he'll let me later. Let's do this math problem first. Take a look at this table. It represents the number of teeth in various mammals' mouths. For example, we have a hamster. The hamster has a certain number of teeth, and the way we're going to figure out the number of teeth a hamster has is to actually figure out what each of those triangles represent. And it says here in the key, it says each triangle is 4 teeth. Okay, so if the hamster has 4 triangles, that means 4 teeth for the first triangle, plus 4 teeth for the second triangle, 4 teeth for the third, and 4 for the fourth. Okay, so how many teeth does a hamster have? Well, we can skip count or count by fours. 4, 8, 12, 16. So the hamster has 16 teeth. Ha!
Okay, so here's what I want you to do first. You have a blank picture graph, okay? So you should be on page 102. That's where you're writing, 102. You have a blank picture graph. What I want you to do right now is get the title in, Teeth in Mammals, because I can see that theirs, they already filled it out. And she's showing you right now that your key, each triangle equals 4 teeth. So go ahead and get, hamsters have 16 teeth. So what she's showing you is repeated addition here. 4, 8, 12, 16 teeth. That's the same as your book, right? Don't spend too much time on it. Just draw your triangles and move on. The cat has 30 teeth. So they're showing 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and then a half would be 30. Because each half, if a whole triangle equals 4, then a half of that equals 2. So if you need to do that, if you need to come over here and draw a half, that's a terrible half, equals 2 teeth. If you have to put that over there for yourself, then do it. The dog has 42 teeth. So they've done 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. What comes next?
38.
40, 42.
42 teeth in a dog.
Yeah, that's a lot of teeth, isn't it?
No.
Then it says the cow has 32 teeth. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30.
13.
It's missing something in the cow. What's it missing?
The dog.
4 teeth. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Okay, 30. Okay, 32. Never mind. I said 30. I meant 32. Sorry about that. Okay, so it looks like it's the same. When you have all that filled in and you have your key down here, because your key's not in on yours, so you need to put your key in. Triangle equals 4 teeth. Put your pencil down so I know we're ready to start. All right, let's continue. Whoops.
Okay, so we can do the same thing to find out the number of teeth that a cat has and a dog has and a cow has. Now, once we do that, our job is to write a problem that can be solved using the information in this picture graph. Okay,
So
and
that's
then we're
your
going to solve
number
our own
8
problem.
question in your
So
book.
we're in control. We can make
That's
whatever
your
problem
number
we
8
like
question in your
based on the
book.
numbers that we find when we figure out how many teeth each of these animals have. Okay? So let's go ahead and figure out the rest.
Okay, did you hear her say we can figure out a question? Your number 8 question in your book says, write a problem that can be solved by using the data in your picture graph. So we are going to listen to her and then we're going to complete that, okay?
That is the number of teeth a cat has. Let's see, I'm going to rewrite this here. Triangle is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4
Here,
plus
on
4
this property.
plus 4. Oh, and then we have half of a triangle. Okay, so we know each triangle is 4 teeth. So what would half of a triangle represent? Should be half of 4. And if you want to take a look at it, here are 4 dots. What would half of those dots be? 2 of them, right? So if a whole triangle is 4, half would be 2. Okay, good deal. So we are going to add 2 right here and get our answer. So let's see. Let's count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, and then we'll add 2 to 28. We get 30. So now let's find the number of teeth a dog has. But this time, rather than writing them all out, I'm going to look at this picture and I'm going to count by 4s or maybe by 2s, depending on what I'm seeing. In other words, a whole triangle is representing 4 and a half of a triangle represents 2. So we'll have to be mindful of that as we count.
Yep,
Are you ready?
be careful of that. That's how I made the mistake earlier.
So starting with the first triangle, we'll count by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, and then this half of a triangle makes 2 more than 40, which is
Very good.
42.
Very good.
Well done if you were counting along with me. I'll put the answer right here. And in fact, maybe I'll move this away and put the rest of the answers right next to it. And we'll say 16 here and 30 here. In fact, we don't need to see this anymore. We'll just erase it all. There we go. Excellent. So now what? Now we need to find the number of teeth a cow has. Here we go. Count by 4s.
Ready?
4,
4,
8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So we'll write 32 right here. Great. So this is the foundation for us figuring out our own problem. Okay, so again, we're supposed to write a problem that can be solved using the data in this picture graph. And then we're going to solve the problem when we're done. So we're in control. We can make any question we want to, anything we want. Okay, so for example, we can say, how many more teeth does a cow have than a hamster? Or what is the sum of teeth that a hamster and a dog has? Or whatever we choose. Okay, I think I'm going to choose this question because I thought of it ahead of time. How many more teeth does a cat have than a hamster?
Okay, get that written down in that number 8. How many more teeth does a cat have than a hamster?
I can't.
I know, and you know what I'm going to do? Because I realized, stop writing for a minute. I'm going to scoot you up to this line right here. I'm going to scoot you up to this line right here. And this line right here. And then I'm going to scoot you. Take your legs off.
They also made a picture.
This line, sorry. Karma, you guys can come up too. I'll scoot you all the way up to here. Don't write. Don't write. You can up to here. See if that makes a little difference on how much you can see. Oh, I'm falling over my own shoe. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Struck, I'm falling down. Can you see better now? A little bit?
I mean, I need to my brain is messing with me, my eyes are messing with me because every time I try to count them, It looks like it's taking me like back to
Is it
the
better or better?
start of it. Yeah.
I'm gonna adjust you again. Okay, come this way. I'm gonna make it a little bit better for you. Come this way. I'm making it better for you too. Come in this way. Is that better? How's that? Okay, great. How many of you are still writing? How many more teeth does a cat have than a hamster? Get it written in. Hurry, hurry. And if you're finished writing, think about this. How many more? And tell me, are we adding or subtracting with how many more? Sydney?
Adding.
Not adding,
Subtracting.
subtracting. Yep. So you can go ahead and put your subtraction here. How many more teeth does a cat have than a hamster? Well, cat is 16. Cat is 30. Hamster is 16. The bigger number goes on top. 30 minus 16. Can I take, if I have 0 cookies, can I give you 6? No, I can't. I didn't bake any. So I'm going to have to go next door. I'm going to borrow a cup of sugar. That makes that 3 a 2. I'm going to change my 0 to a what? 10, because I'm adding a 10 to this ones column. 10 minus 6 is how much? 4. 2 minus 1 is how much? 1. So my answer beside my question, you're going to have to write your answer beside your question, is 14 more teeth. When you get that completed, all of that is completed on your page. You may put your pencil down. You may take your pencil out of your book. You may close your book. You may put it away. Yes, Tyler. Okay. Here's what I need from you. We're getting ready to take a restroom break. If your math book is in your desk is cleared off and ready for reading when we get back. And by reading, I mean finishing the BFG. I know, exciting stuff. I want you to, listen, 0 inch. 0 inch in the hallway. We're going to make a nice packed sign at the door for a restroom break, okay?